Hey everyone, it's Marianne from the New York City Organization of Public Service Retirees, and I'm doing another video today on a document that we came across while we were doing our preparation for oral arguments in July over our litigation. And this one's really important, and it was very exciting to find. It goes back to a 1983 case, I believe. It was Brennan v. Koch. The DEA had sued the city of New York over a bargaining issue. And one of the things that came up was whether or not the MLC had any power. And so this always becomes a question we're always asked, like, why can the MLC do this? I thought you said that our unions have the bargaining right to bargain for wages, hours, and work conditions. Healthcare is a work condition. Yes, it is. So today, we are not only sharing this video with you, we are going to give this to every single union leader, active unions, to help educate them that these two guys here are taking away their union bargaining power, your power from your union, that you should be able to pull that power back and say, I hold my bargaining certificate. I am going to bargain for my people, and I'm not going to let Harry, Henry, Michael, blah, 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 MLC take away my bargaining power. So let's get right into that, because I think it's super important that we go through the document. Remember that this was actually used in the course of litigation, and it was used in 1983. So this document, there's several different pages that I want to show you. This document was before Judge Spiro in the Southern District of New York. It's Dennis P. Brennan as president of the Detectives Endowment Association, City of New York and Detective Endowment Association versus Ed Koch, Mayor of New York, Office of Municipal Labor Relations, and of the Office of Collective Bargaining as defendants. So this was a case. This document was actually filed in 1982. The decision did come down in 1983, and it was about a whole nother issue, which I'm not going to get into because it's not pertinent, but this document is. So I want to go right to page 3, paragraph number 7, and you'll see them highlighted. We'll also put a link to the document in the description of this video so that you could reach it and look at it for yourself and read it in its entirety, because I'm not going to go over all 19 pages. It wasn't pertinent, but just the specific paragraphs of the affidavits. Now, this is a notarized affidavit of two people, Arvid Anderson, who was then director of Office of Collective Bargaining, and James Hanley, one of the most respected labor relations directors ever. Unlike what you have today or even yesterday, James Hanley was definitely more of a gentleman. So paragraph 7. The Municipal Labor Committee is an association of public employee unions which serves certain statutory and administrative functions. Unlike a union whose membership is composed exclusively of employees, the Municipal Labor Committee has no employee members whatsoever. The MLC has certain statutory functions which are set out in the New York City Charter and New York City Unconsolidated Laws. See McKinney's. Section 1171 of the City Charter states that the MLC designates the two labor members of the Tripartite Board of Collective Bargaining, and Section 1174A of the City Charter requires the members of the MLC to pay 50% of the specified costs of the boards of certification and collective bargaining. Section 7398A of the Unconsolidated Laws authorize the MLC to designate one member of the Personnel Review Board of the New York City Health and Hospitals Corp. For a period of 5 years after the creation of HHC. Now, this goes to Office of Collective Bargaining and the powers of bargaining. Let's continue. As can be seen from its statutory functions, the MLC fulfills a distinct need by facilitating the coordination of certain activities by its numerous member unions. These activities are primarily administrative in nature. Similarly, the non-statutory functions of the MLC are also largely administrative and include distributing information and reviewing procedures established pursuant to NYC CBL, which stands for New York City Collective Bargaining Law. Unlike unions, the MLC, which does not represent its member unions, does not collectively bargain with the city concerning wages, hours, and terms and conditions of employment, nor does it enter into labor contracts with the city, nor prosecute grievances pursuant to labor contracts. In addition, the MLC does not demand loyalty from its member unions and does not have authority to discipline member unions. In contrast, unions do demand loyalty from and do discipline their employee members. This is then affirming what we have been saying all along, that the MLC does not represent anyone in collective bargaining, but we're going to get to how they're getting away with it. So I want to continue. Now, paragraph 7. The Municipal Labor Committee is an association of public employee unions which serves certain statutory administrative functions. Unlike a union whose membership is composed exclusively of employees, the MLC has no employee members whatsoever. It's kind of a repeat of what we just read, but I'll continue. The MLC has certain statutory functions which are set out in the New York City Charter, and then it continues, it repeats the same paragraph as above. As can be seen from its statutory functions, the MLC fulfills a distinct need by facilitating the coordination of certain activities by its numerous member unions. These are activities primarily administrative in nature. Similarly, the non-statutory functions of the MLC are also largely administrative and include distributing information and reviewing procedures established pursuant to the New York City Collective Bargaining Law. Again, it is a repeat of the above, so I won't finish reading all that, but it basically does say the exact same sentences. Now, this was James Hanley's affidavit. You could see his signature. This was signed March 1, 1982. Now, I do want to go to Arvid Anderson's. Paragraph 4 of Arvid's affidavit. It is important to note initially that neither the MLC nor the Uniformed Forces Coalition possesses the status of a certified collective bargaining representative under the New York City Collective Bargaining Law. Neither body possesses the statutory rights incident to certification under the NYCCBL and the New York State Public Employees Fair Employment Act, also commonly known as the Taylor Law. In fact, it appears that neither body is a public employee organization as the term is defined in the New York City Collective Bargaining Law, section 1173-3.0J. Thus, regardless of their status under 1173-10-0B, neither could qualify for certification as a collective bargaining representative. The Municipal Labor Committee is a voluntary association of representatives of qualified organizations of public employees. It was created pursuant to a memorandum of agreement dated March 31, 1966, which was signed by representatives of the city and certain employee organizations. This memorandum of agreement was drafted at the request of the mayor of the city of New York by a tripartite panel made up of distinguished neutrals, made up of representatives of the city, the municipal unions, and distinguished neutrals. The memorandum served as the basis for what was enacted into law by the New York City Council as the New York City Collective Bargaining Law. The existence of the MLC and of the Memorandum of Agreement is expressly recognized in Section 1173-30K of the New York City Collective Bargaining Law. The existence of the MLC is also recognized in Section 1171 of the New York City Charter, which provides that the MLC is to designate the 2 labor members of the 7-member tripartite Board of Collective Bargaining. Section 1174A of the City Charter further provides that 50% of the salary, fees, and expenses of the 3 impartial members of the Board of Collective Bargaining shall be paid by the members of the MLC. In addition to these statutory responsibilities, the MLC plays a role in such areas as the dissemination of information among the member unions, the adoption of policy statements regarding particular labor relations issues, and the formulation of general collective bargaining strategies. The MLC also participates with the city and the staff of Office of Collective Bargaining in periodic reviews of the effectiveness of procedures under the New York City Collective Bargaining Law and the revised consolidated rules of the OCB. The MLC does not engage in collective bargaining with the city concerning wages, hours, and terms and conditions of employment. It does not act as the bargaining representative of its member unions. It does not enter into collective labor contract with the city, nor does it prosecute grievances or enforce any labor contract. Upon information and belief, it does not demand loyalty from its constituent member unions, and it possesses no power to discipline members whose actions are inconsistent with MLC policy. The MLC serves statutory informational, and administrative functions, which differ greatly from the function of the employee organization certified as an exclusive collective bargaining representative. For this reason, I submit that the membership of both the police and non-police unions in the MLC creates no potential for compromising the integrity or the impartiality of a police force. Now, that last sentence had to do with the case that they were involved in. They were looking for a separate bargaining representative. So I want to make this crystal clear. These two guys right here are taking the power from every union with a collective bargaining certificate. Every time they hold a vote, and Harry, Henry, Michael forces your unions, all labor leaders, to hurry up and vote and cast a vote. You must vote now. You have to pass this, without giving anyone any time to read anything. You don't have to do that at all. Nothing bad will happen to you for not doing it. We used to get upset, like, why the heck is the PBA abstaining and reading this statement that they don't recognize the MLC as a bargaining representative? And actually, they were right the whole time. We had to actually call the PBA, write them an email and say, we're sorry for getting upset with you over this. We actually understand why you did it. So understand something. Why? Why is this important? Because you, the union, hold your bargaining certificate. You, the union, with that bargaining certificate, you hold your collective bargaining power. You are the certified bargaining representative for your membership, not Henry, Harry, Michael, and the MLC. You are. And with that bargaining certificate, you choose who bargains for you. So what every union should be doing now is two things. You should be writing a letter to the Office of Labor Relations and Collective Bargaining, telling them that you hold your bargaining certificate and that you are the exclusive agent for bargaining everything, including healthcare, for your union, not the MLC. And you do not recognize the MLC as a bargaining representative for you. You also must send that letter to the MLC. And every time there is a vote, you don't vote when it comes up to something that is a mandatory subject of bargaining for your union, like healthcare. The next time there is, you have to require the city negotiate with you, not them. Because now all of the smaller unions that are in the MLC harness that power back, and the city cannot negotiate with them for you or your members. So the entire time, when you'd hear the PBA representative say, I'm sorry, I do not recognize this body as the bargaining representative for the PBA, he's absolutely correct. And what you don't know is that every time you cast your vote, whether it's a yay, a nay, or an abstention, you are conveying your power given to you by your bargaining certificate to them. Don't do it. This is how they can make rules and decisions that go against your members. So please take our advice. We are sending an email out on this today. We are also attaching the document to the active unions, and we are going to start educating them that they can take their power back, not to cede it over back to the MLC. This is how Henry and Michael keep in control and power and abuse their authority. The MLC was founded for a reason. It was to stop pitting unions against each other. What they did when they took it over, and the people right before them, including Randy Weingarten, was use their power against the other unions to get what they wanted. They took your power and used it and abused that power to get what they wanted against you. The MLC wasn't founded for that. It was to be able to harness that bargaining power together, to stop pitting one union against the other, to go into bargaining against management. Right now, all of these unions are paying a dues for every member that they have to the MLC. And the MLC has been filing amicus briefs taking the side of management that serves these guys. Why would you do that? A labor organization should not be pitted against other labor. And this is what we keep saying. I don't know what side deals they made or side letters they have to enrich themselves or their unions. I don't know why they're doing this, other than greed and power-hungry authoritarianism. But you are labor, damn it. And you should take back your labor power. Your members are counting on you. And so are your retirees, because it was that easy for them to take your power and strip away a health benefit from your retired members to use that value in their collective bargaining. Never should Mr. Mulgrew have been able to do that 2014 contract where he negotiated his 18% raise on the backs of all other unions and the retired people. Ever. And he should never have been allowed to take $1 billion out of the Health Insurance Stabilization Fund. And the only reason he was because he was allowed. Henry was letting him do it. You need to stop. Take your power back. We will be glad to help you. Also, make sure you speak with each other. Union leaders need to have communications. You need to form coalitions so that you have each other's backs. Stop walking into these meetings blind. Make your motions from the floor to stop a vote and delay it. Work together, back a brother and a sister up, because that's what labor does. They have no power. They're stealing yours. Please listen. The history, the future of labor depends on you.